Welcome back, WNST, Towson, Baltimore, and WNST.net. We got big doings around here, and I want to give a big shout-out to my friend Bill Cole at Cole Roofing and Gordian Energy for inspiring me to do the Community and Charity Series. We got an incredible event coming up. It's the third year I've been involved with the National Kidney Foundation and Sante, but more than that, there's really an incredible sports angle this year with a local fighter who's got a fight next week on the 28th. He is training out of the gym here, Upton Boxing Gym here in Baltimore. He's from Laurel. 26-year-old boxer. If you haven't heard about Demond, the Beast, Nicholson. What's going on, Demond? How you doing, man? I know you got a big fight. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time here. I hope you're training up and hydrating and resting and doing all those things fighters are supposed to do, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Thank you for having me, first of all. But man, I'm doing good. I'm getting very well prepared for this fight. And you're right, 100% right. I'm staying very hydrated, and just eating right and staying healthy. But mostly, the most important thing is staying hydrated. So, man, everything is going great. Everything is clicking. Everything is right on time.
Well, you talk about being hydrated, and I drink. I do yoga. I sweat it out and whatnot. But man, you've been through a real life-altering thing here. When you talk about hydration, you talk about your body, and I've learned a lot about the National Kidney Foundation. My dear friend Dick Cass, the president of the Ravens, once gave a kidney to save a life of a college friend, and we hear these heroic stories. And every year, I hear stories at Sante, and I know I offered to have you on after the fight to promote Sante, and they said, no, Demond wants to come on before the fight to talk about the fight too. So I said, I'll get to meet you after the fight, and hopefully you're victorious next week. But you have a very, very personal story with NKF and being their spokesperson this year.
Yes, definitely. The way I got involved with the National Kidney Foundation is May 10th of last year. I was diagnosed with kidney failure, and it was right before one of the biggest fights of my life. I weighed in, made weight, and everything. And after I weighed in, go to rehydrate myself, my body just completely shut down on me. My dad, and my team, we thought it was from dehydration, not drinking enough water and stuff like that. But when I went to the hospital to get an IV, they gave me 11 bags of IV. Nothing was working. I couldn't urine. I couldn't do anything. My body still wasn't reacting well. I couldn't get up. I couldn't walk. I couldn't stand. I couldn't do nothing because my body completely shut down. So when they see that I couldn't urine, they said, Mr. Nicholson, we have to check your kidneys. You could possibly have kidney failure. And I was like, wow. I was confused. I've never heard anything about. When I heard about kidney failure, normally you hear about an older person or somebody who really is sick. And
you had never had a problem. You're a healthy man. You're 25 years old, right?
Yeah, I was 26 at the time. I was completely healthy. I was completely healthy. So I'm like, nah, I don't think that's it. So when they checked my blood, they did the test and everything. Man, my kidney levels and my creatinine levels, everything, my levels were just the highest the hospital had ever seen. So they told me I had to be put on dialysis. I said, you know what? Take that. I said, hold on. Somebody help me up and let me try to pee. I don't think that's what it is. I was terrified, and when I seen that I couldn't pee, I kind of just broke down a little bit inside. I broke down a little bit inside, like, wow, I really have to go through this. This is something I've never experienced in my life. I never had to deal with. I seen my uncles go through the dialysis and stuff like that, but it's something that I had to go through, and it was kind of detrimental at the time. And so, by me being 100% healthy, not having any types of symptoms of kidney failure, man, once I got myself back together, got myself healed up, and my PR, her name is Miss Wendy Richardson. She asked, what did I think about joining with the National Kidney Foundation? I said, man, that's something I want to do, because I was trying to figure out ways that I can, reach out to people and let them and get them to understand that, this kidney stuff is not a joke. I went to 10 weeks of of dialysis, and that was some of the hardest days I've ever had to live through. Was going through that, you know. So I was like, man, listen, everybody needs to know. I made sure I told my grandparents, my uncles, anybody in my family who had high blood pressure or diabetes. I made sure, like, listen, you do not want to go through this. Please take care of yourself. Eat healthy, drink plenty of water, do everything you can possibly to get better. So when she brought to me, joining with the National Kidney Foundation, it brought tears in my eyes, you know, because it's something that I wanna do. I wanna inform people on how to get themselves checked up and make sure they're healthy and stuff like that, because that's some of the dialysis is the worst thing I ever had to go through in my life, you know, mentally and physically.
Well, we got an event coming up. I want to make sure everybody knows. It's Thursday, March 12th.
Yeah.
Two different things. Demond Nicholson joining us here, fighting out of Baltimore and out of Laurel, Maryland. And now all of this happened 12 months ago. Give me so you were on dialysis, let's say in the spring of last year, and you're getting better, and you want to get back in the ring and get back to doing what you do, which is fight. And tell me about the doctors and them allowing you to get back in the ring next week.
Yeah, well, you know, it took me 10 weeks to get my body back to normal. Before I could fight, man, the fight doctors, they wanted all the reports, all the medicals, everything from the hospital where I was in, and they needed the doctor report from my kidney specialist. It was tough, you know. I had to go through a lot. I had to go all the way back to Virginia. You know, it happened in Virginia. I had to go all the way back to Virginia, and I had to go get 2 or 3 tests done, blood work done, and I had to see my regular doctor, and I had to see the fight doctor. I had to get approved by the fight doctor and everything. And they had to look over all my medical records and everything in order for me to fight. I had a fight in October 18th at Murder Life, also at Murder Life Casino, and I won. But to get the fight, man, I had to go through so much, you know, and but for this fight, it's not as much. I'm doing much better. I'm taking care of my body and everything. So this fight, man, next Friday, man, I'm excited. I can't wait. You know, it's time to put on a show. I'm 100% back to myself, and you know, it's time to show off.
Tell me about preparing for a fight here. I mean, all the kidneys a year ago and all that aside, just preparing for a fight, video training for yourself. Your last fight was in October. Tell me about your opponent.
Yeah.
Tell me, how one scouts up a week before a big fight like this that you got.
Okay, so the guy I'm fighting, his name is Mike Guy. He's from Sacramento, California. He's 38 years old. You would say he's old, but he's on like 5-win winning streak of beating some good quality opponents. And leading up to a fight like this, you know, this is one of the most important fights of my career. You know, this is one of my second fights back. I was on the verge of fighting for a world title before my freak accident, and now this fight right here puts me right back on board. So to mentally get ready for this fight, man, you know, I'm secluded. You know, I'm staying away from everybody right now, just locking in. You know, like I said, right before a big fight like this, I had a freak accident, so I'm just making sure my body is intact, my brain is intact mentally, and just staying 100% focused. That's the most important thing right now, to staying focused, staying sharp. I'm in the gym once a day. Normally, I'm in the gym twice a day, but now it's just time to slow down, focus on the fight, and get this guy out of there. You know,
Mike Guy. All right. The fight is February 28th. It's at the Live Casino. I want to make sure everybody's got this together. Demond Nicholson is our guest here. He's fighting off Pennsylvania Avenue in the Upton Boxing Center out of Laurel, Maryland. The fight is the 28th here in Maryland at the Live Casino. And then I guess a victory party, as we'll call this, on World Kidney Day. It's Thursday, March the 12th. You and I are going to get together. Now, look, I've been to Sante the last couple of years. It's a taste of Baltimore. So whatever you do, come hungry, okay? I mean, I don't want you to starve yourself after you win this fight next week, but you come hungry. It's at the American Visionary Art Museum, 6 to 9 on the 12th. I know you're going to have some words for everybody and be able to greet everybody, take pictures, and say hello. All of this is for a great cause, the National Kidney Foundation. My dear friend, I still call her Michelle Jackman because I grew up with her. She helps run the National Kidney Foundation out of Washington. They had a big fundraiser, they had a big concert down there a couple weeks ago that I was going to go. This is the big Baltimore event that happens every single here. It's called Sante, Sante. You can learn more about everything that's going on at kidneymd.org, kidneymd.org. Demond, tell everybody how to find you and to find and track your career out there, because I think everybody in my audience loves a local story, and you're a local guy doing well, and we're all pulling for you next week, man.
Oh, that's great. That's great. You can follow me on, or you can add me on Facebook. It's Demond Nicholson. You can add me on Twitter, Demond, the best at it, Nicholson. And you can add me on Instagram, Demond_Nicholson. And just follow me, and I'll follow you back. There's no problem at all. And I appreciate everybody listening to my story. I appreciate you for having me.
Well, I appreciate you telling your story. More than that, I appreciate really stepping up. You know, my wife is a two-time leukemia battler, and we do everything we can do in the aftermath because we understand. You know, my wife spent 155 days in the hospital. You talk about dialysis, and you talk about, the fear of, staring down something that you don't see the day before. I mean, I have a lot of respect, and I know it's hard and it's emotional. Come on out, win your fight, and we'll see you on the 12th. And I'll tell you what, there's always great desserts at this thing. I'm going to fatten you up, Demond. All right?
That sounds great. I cannot wait.
Looking forward to it, man. Good luck with your fight. He's fighting Mike Guy down at the Maryland Live Casino next Friday night on the 28th of February. And then we're going to have Sante a little later on. That's the 12th of March. You can get your tickets for Sante. Individual tickets. They do sponsorships. Admission's $100. They do tables. And I'm one of the celebrity judges, so I'm a mark for all of this. I go by and I have one little nugget, one little morsel of everything from all the restaurants. It's delicious. Sante and the kidney folks, want to give them some love. National Kidney Foundation, kidneymd.org. Big thanks to Demond Nicholson for telling his story. Good luck to him next week in his big fight against Mike Guy. I am Nestor. You can find me out on the buy at Toyota.com Audio Vault 24 hours a day from anywhere in the world on your mobile device. Big thanks to our friends at Cole Roofing and Gordian Energy for sponsoring all of our community and charity conversations, inspiring me to do Baltimore positive as well. You'll hear from Kirby Fowler, as well as Mary Miller, Mary Washington, as well as Baltimore County School Superintendent Dr. Darrell Williams. Visited with him earlier this week at State Fair in Catonsville. Fantastic conversation. Fantastic shrimp and grits as well. I am Nestor. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore. We never stop telling great stories about cool Baltimore people doing cool stuff like Sante and the National Kidney Foundation on March 12th.